Okay, so at the moment I'm going to talk about using MDF board as your canvas rather than buying a stretch canvas. The great thing about MDF board is that you can buy a big sheet like this. This is 1200 by 900 millimeters, and it cost me $20. If you bought a canvas this size from the art shop, you're probably looking at well over $100, maybe up to $200 for a really good big quality canvas. However, you do have to prepare it, and so that's what I'm going to start doing now. I start with a coat of MDF primer. Get that from the hardware shop as well, because we have to protect the board from the acids in the oil paint. So just start to brush on your primer. Okay, so there's our coat of primer. Remember to do the front, back and sides, not just the surface that you'll be working on. Okay, so now that we've put our coat of primer on all sides, I've put 2 coats of primer on the back but only one on the front. That's because we're now going to put gesso on the front, and I'll be putting 3 coats of gesso on. You'll also notice I've turned the board 90 degrees. That's because the brush strokes leave little micro channels in the paint. So just to counteract that, every coat I rotate the board 90 degrees. So we'll start. I just use I don't have a particular brand of gesso, just what is ever at the art shop on special. As long as you don't get something cheap and nasty, it should be alright. And you just start brushing on your first coat of gesso. You don't want it too thick, unless you want to have texture on your board, but we could do texture later. Right now, just as the first coat of gesso, we want just a nice thin even layer. Okay, so the first coat of our gesso is dried, so I'm going to turn the board 90 degrees. And we'll start to apply our second coat. Okay, so that's 2 coats of gesso. We're now going to do the third and final coat. As you can see, the board's getting pretty nice and white now. You can hardly see the original wood. So once again, turn it 90 degrees. And start to put on our third coat. Alright, so there we have our 3 coats of gesso on top of a coat of primer. So you can see our board is nice and fully white now. You can't see the original board behind it, so it's pretty much ready to paint on. The last thing we have to do really is give it a light sand. If you feel the surface, it's a little bit coarse, and you find that if you're using sable paintbrushes, that the coarseness of the gesso quickly wears away your bristles. So to stop that, you just want a fine sandpaper, and just lightly give it a sand. So all you're doing, and you can feel the difference already, all you're doing is just taking away that very coarse feel and making it a little bit smoother and a little bit easier on your bristle and your sable brushes. And then that's it. It's ready to paint on. The good thing about this too is you can trim it to any size you want. You don't have to paint on the big board. What I do sometimes is I find myself a nice frame from a second hand or a church shop. That was about $30, so it's quite a nice frame. So I'm just going to use that at some stage. I will be trimming this board. I'm going to do an abstract on it, and I might at some stage do a little video on creating an abstract and how we go about that. Alright, good luck.